All right, guys, welcome. Just want to make sure everyone can hear me, see us all right, hear me all right. Can you throw a thumbs up in the chat if it's all good? Perfect, perfect. All right, well, hello, everyone. Welcome to another Build Your Presence webinar. I'm your host, Bali Kero, and for those of you who don't know me, I do marketing here at Luxury Presence with a previous life as an agent over here in Malibu and LA, and a previous life in the music and entertainment world in London and all the places that the music business takes you. We're in for a real treat today as we dive into the world of managing your contact database and insight into some tools and systems to kind of help you get the job done. And who better to guide us than a real estate industry rock star in every sense of the word? Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to introduce Jeff Biebuyck, whose name is synonymous with excellence in the business, ranking consistently in the top 1% of agents. He's a founding member of Frontgate Real Estate, along with partner Dana, and is well versed in handling an impressive portfolio of diverse and high profile clientele. His professional journey has seen him make his mark in exclusive industry circles such as the world's best realtors, Global Collective. And on top of that, his leadership skills were honed as the CEO of a multi-million-dollar company, Dreamline Entertainment. And here's where it gets even more interesting. Jeff's a literal rock star. Before real estate captured his passion, Jeff was entrenched in the music business and the movie business in Hollywood too. And this unique blend of experiences has crafted a unique approach to real estate and business, and making him one of the most innovative and dynamic figures in the business today. And Jeff, you don't know this, but Jeff was an inspiration to me as an agent ever since I joined Madison and Jennifer's team in Malibu. He was my first client. Yeah, when I joined Luxury Presence, you were my first client. So he's been innovating with us since the beginning. And I've always been impressed with your knowledge of marketing and what you've been able to achieve. And it's an absolute privilege to have the opportunity to chat with you today. So without further ado, let's give a warm welcome to Jeff. Jeff, please say hi to everyone on the webinar.
Hey everybody! I wish my wife would talk to me about or talk about that like me, like you. And you did. So I didn't know this about you. So you were in the music business.
I was in the music business, yeah. Since I was about 14, started off a songwriter, producer, and kind of got hooked up with Scooter Braun from Bieber's camp, and that kind of opened doors. But now I'm here.
Wow. All right. So we got a lot coming up. Well, we're going to talk about that offline. I did not know that about you. So
yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Thanks for joining us, man. I'm excited to pick your brain. I know we were talking about some of this stuff a couple of days ago and yesterday, and I'm really here to just be the voice of all the people on the webinar today, and just pick your brain and get some insight from someone doing it at a level that you're doing it. Really want to dive into stuff like Follow Up Boss and how you're using that, and the website, and just kind of anything cool and innovative that you're doing right now and that you want to talk about. Where do you want to start?
Oh, geez, wherever you want to start. How's that? Make it easy on me.
All right. Well, yeah, let's crack on with something. Like, I'm really interested in Follow Up Boss. I think a lot of our attendees here, they kind of, everyone harps on about using a CRM and making that as a part of your business. And most people have a website. A lot of people either have CRM but just aren't using it. I'd love to get your kind of insight into why CRM is so important, and how you use it specifically. Like, how that is that one of the tools? I know you use Follow Up Boss, right? And you got Luxury Presence as a website. Just an insight into your tools and things, and how your process works.
Sure. It was just really honestly a process of elimination. I'm just a guy selling houses. I used to be in rock bands, and I wasn't afraid of zeros. So I just kind of looked at a $5 million paycheck, $5 million home sale to a 500, and nobody's any different except they have money, and they expect like a higher level of, and everybody could be super nice or super jerks, and and at all levels, it doesn't matter where it's at. So it's really, at the end of the day, it's just a number. And my thing is, like, I always tell my team and my agents, like, don't be afraid of the zeros, because it's the same thing. It's luxury property to a first-time home buyer. I think a first-time home buyer is a lot more challenging. I think it takes actually more skills than a luxury sale, to be honest with you. And it's really who you kind of partner up with and pair up with. So I just kind of looked at the best of the best stuff that I could find out there. And a lot of it was trial and error. I've tried from top producer to just Google contacts. The fact that you even have something in a CRM is awesome. Doesn't matter what it is, as long as you have it, is great. But all of us have had CRMs that everything gets dusty inside of it, and you kind of ignore it, and then it's that annoying thing that you go to it, it's all outdated, and you just didn't keep up with it. So any CRM works. But it's not about the CRM. It's about your interaction with it. As far as what I like about Follow Up Boss, it just integrates so well with everything from, gosh, from phone calls it records to the assistants to collaborators to, I mean, we'll go over a couple of things that I found that, just the, mainline right into getting things done really quick. And like I said, I've spent a lot of time, countless hours, thousands, tens of thousands of dollars to try to figure out, who do we use? And to be honest with you, I was trying to remember, well, we've been with Luxury Presence for what, a decade, maybe?
Yeah, you've been there since the beginning. Yeah, for a while. Yeah.
So from day one, it was like, honestly, like the most, it was the prettiest website I think I've ever seen. And then it just kind of evolved and grew. And I've watched you guys grow exponentially. And it just became better and stronger and more popular. And now I see you guys are really supporting some of the best agents out there, any agents out there that want to have a very beautiful aesthetic, even luxury or non-luxury. It's your brand. People Google search you, they're going to land on you. That's your first impression. If you have an outdated website, you have outdated information, you're just going to come across as outdated. So you might as well come across looking good and making sure all the photos that you take for your properties look great, that you're very interactive on blogs, and you have every community up there that you're working with on there. And the SEO, which I'll show you examples of, for us being with the long-term ride here, the long tail ride with Luxury Presence, we organically outrank everybody, including a lot of, even the 800-pound gorillas from Zillow to Realtor.com organically. We all know how crowded that space is with sponsored ads, Google banner ads, and every time of ad you could put in, it's getting very crowded. And that's the new thing. It's the shiny new object. And I'm a sucker for shiny new objects, but their space is extremely crowded. And I really believe that real estate is getting back into basics of going in those non-crowded spaces, which is going to take heavy lifting. It's going to take some work, but if you do that work and get your communities up there that you're focusing on, blogging on local content, local businesses, items of value for a client, it's a lot. It's like going to a gym. You're only going to get as strong as the days you show up. And in the end, it's awesome. We have so many leads right now that come in from, and it took a lot of time, but the leads that come in are much better than a pay-per-click lead, because they're going on there looking for us. They're going to a community, they're going to a blog that's specific, and that speaks to them much louder than somebody trying to put them into a clickbait trap. Theoretically, that's what it is. You stumble on my site, give me your name, and then you're chasing them. This way, you want to, it's more of an inbound marketing strategy, which to me is much better than cold calling, knocking on doors, or chasing pay-per-click leads. And I'm not saying we don't do any of that. And I think all of it's great. Personally, for me, it just works better and it just feels better. I just like operating in that space. So
100%. I mean, that's the name of the game, right? Like you guys your SEO is through the roof. So when you can get to that level and you can get those organic leads coming in, everything's just nice. Everything works better. Like the leads are a little bit warmer, and then all the other things that you're putting on top of it with the ads and stuff like that, it just it just takes your lead gen machine to the next level. But so give me some insight into, so when a lead, let's say somebody fills out a form on your website and they land into your system, what happens to that lead? How do you end up organizing it? Is there any parts of it that are automated? If you feel comfortable doing a screen share, we could always just dive into your CRM and just explore and just take a look around.
Sure. I mean, I can actually show you live examples. I'll probably show you some examples that I probably should have followed up on better, maybe, because I'm not perfect. But we do have systems and we do have automation, depending on what they're coming into the site for. So I think the most important thing that people don't talk about, a lead just isn't a lead, just isn't a lead. Someone in your database that you sold a house to that know, loves, and trusts you as a past client, and that messaging you're going to get to them is not the same you'd push to a buyer. You know, a buyer wants to know about properties, off-market properties, insurability, you know, all the stuff typical buyers do. A potential seller is really just going into looking different segments of your site, not just a home valuation, like, hey, who are these people? What's their differentiation? Do I have a landing page for them? And do I have content to keep hitting them up? You know, because they might be interviewing 10 or 15 different people. But the second that comes in, I'm hitting them. I'm not pounding them, but I'm hitting them up to that listing appointment. They pretty much have everything that I didn't have to bring a thing because they've already been presented it. And most of the time I walk in, you know, you had me at hello because I already showed them what we could do. Some people don't open it. Some people don't read it. Some people are older and you have to do the old school. Here's some paper, touch it, and, you know, and want to shake your hand. And some people just do all their work up front and you're hired before you even get to the door. And that's the best part, because then you have control and that trust in that client to give them an actual price that's going to get the house sold. And you are coming in as somebody that they respect, and they've seen what you can do, and they want what you have.
Yeah, they've done the research at that point. They've already they've Googled you, they've figured out what you're all about and your success and your track record. So yeah, like you said, you've done the work for them before you meet them.
So, you know, so when leads come in, it's not even just coming in through the website and where you put them. You're going to meet people at open houses. Someone's going to introduce you at a party or a wedding, and, you know, and you're putting them into your database. So you're manually putting those in. I can't emphasize how much, just as, if not more important, that is than just, you know, somebody coming in through your website. It's all important, but it's all that funnel system. And, you know, in that funnel, where do you segment that client? Are they a buyer? Are they a seller? Are they just people that love your blog? I'm not going to push people to sell their house if they're just in there wanting to know what restaurants are the most awesome in the local area. Let them look at restaurants. You know, one of the litmus tests for me is, you know, on social media and stuff. And I was thinking about someone, like, let's say if it was a past client or a friend, or even just sitting there. I asked my wife, I'm like, you're on the internet, when you see all these just sold, just listed, all this stuff coming from us, yes, we're staying top of mind, but she doesn't care. She actually gets part of that commission with me, right? But that's not interesting to her. What's interesting to her might be a vegan restaurant, or it might be what's going on when the kids were younger for events, or you know, rattlesnake season and where to take our dog so it doesn't get bit, you know, and all that kind of stuff. So when that pops up in social media, when we push that up there and do a blog on it, because we didn't ever put anything on social media unless we have a blog on it, and unless it has a call to action, meaning what do you do? Oh, I can log in and go to this snake prevention class, or, ooh, there's that restaurant, you know, what's the link to that restaurant so they can see their menu. So that it keeps you just as top of mind with past clients that just like you as a resource, you know, and they go to that website. And when it is time to buy or sell anything, they actually feel like they owe you something because you're giving them so much value. And that really keeps you top of mind, you know, versus somebody that you don't know that's potentially selling, or a buyer that's just starting to look, that's either an A, B, or C, you know, they're ready to go now, or 90 days or 180 days, or just a long-term online nurture lead. Everybody has a space, and everybody needs to be followed up with in a segmentation of what is important to them. And what I see a lot of people just, you know, treat everybody or every lead that comes in their system at the same. And that's not what they're asking for. You're not listening to the client. You're not serving their needs, and you're not giving them items of value. You're giving them items of value of, hey, I'm a pushy salesperson and use me, you know. Well, guess what? There's 10 billion other agents out there. I think in the state of California, and I could be totally wrong on this, but someone told me that in every household, one out of, let me remember this. It was mind-boggling. I'm like, are you kidding me? So out of every 100 households, I don't know, maybe some of the panelists could like kind of chime in or think what, or some of the attendees could, but I think it was like out of every household, out of every 100 households, over half of them either have a real estate license or have an immediate family member that does. Half. Insane.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So you got to earn that top of mind spot with them. And, you know, you do that through process, and staying top of mind with giving them something they like. So yeah, if you want me to screen share something and I'll show you.
Yeah. Let's get into the meat and potatoes of it. I think people want to see how someone like you is doing a few things. So that'd be cool.
All right. Hang on one sec. I got all this Zoom stuff in the way. Hold on a second here. All right. You see in the top of mind screen here?
Yeah.
So everything starts with the introduction. Someone you referred, met an open house, online lead, anyone that basically just comes to you and you're putting them into your system. That's the introduction. And from that introduction, with that segmentation I was talking about, you got to earn trust. And trust is, face-to-face meetings are the best, direct lines of communication. I'm here to help you. I'm not here to take anything from you. I'm basically just trying to come up with content and something of value to give to them. And which comes to number two, what's valuable? Off market coming soon listings to a buyer, market updates, local market conditions for sellers, giving them service providers, local businesses, dog walkers to spas, lenders, and any solutions that you can come up with, attorneys, anything that, so you provide that value, you're the go-to source. And I'm sure everybody's come upon this, all of a sudden everybody's hitting you up for everything, all of a sudden become the town crier of and the mayor of the town. And that's what we really pride ourselves on. I get more phone calls from people calling me up for favors or what about this or that, for anything. And I let them know that that's what we're here for. So so the number one, which is the top of mind, you'll never use anyone else. They'll refer you to their family and friends and their closest friends, because you've built this relationship and earned that top of mind. So, starting from the throat to the nose, to the eyes, to the top of the head, you're earning exclusivity to be that top of mind. And here's a funnel diagram. So from the top, you see it says lead. You have not established the stage. It was a call in, they did a search, and, basically put them right away. Depending on that lead, we put everybody on our email newsletter. It's free. It's awesome. They can unsubscribe, but if they've given me their email, they're going on it. And then depending if they are buyer or seller, then we give them property searches. We use this. I'll show you what Real Scout is. And I'm not sure if everybody has heard of that, but Real Scout is just an amazing program that does searches for your clients, and the communication and everything with it is just tremendous. So, we get them on that. The next step.
Is your newsletter is it just like one newsletter, or do you segment the newsletter too, and like different versions of it, or is it just like one thing that you kind of put everyone on?
So what we do, depending on the segment, we have segmented independent emails that we can send to people, so that you have a choice. All of my team can basically pick choices of, like right now we're having this big issue with insurability in California, and it's going to be a big problem. It's a big problem starting right now. So we know that that's just it, whether you own a home, you're looking for a home, or even selling a home, there's issues with that across the board. The easiest thing in the world is I just shot out 20, 30 texts yesterday. I said, hey, what's going on with your home insurance? And the answer is great. Like, why? And it's like, hey, I don't know if you've heard, here's a blog, carriers pulled out. If you have a problem, or if your policy gets terminated for whatever reason because they feel like it, which is happening right now, I got some resources for you. And that is the easiest text that turns into a phone call. Not one did not turn into a conversation. And I felt good making that texter call. I'm not calling them up saying, so how's Susie going? It's not that, so anytime I could find something valuable to anybody, I offer it and make that call.
It's perfect.
And when a nurture, I quarterly call someone that's in the system, just checking in, just nurturing buyer sellers, or just putting them on a long-term email newsletter. Our email newsletter is not segmented, only because we have those independent ways to reach out. We basically do one blog a week, and we do it, and it was A/B tested as far as what people have opened the most. In our area, we're in Kardashian land here in Hidden Hills, and celebrity homes and everything, and everybody likes to know what's going on with celebrity homes. So we do a celebrity home section. We feature a local business. We feature, we do real estate, like, hey, here's what's kind of going on in real estate. And then we'll just do like a local, what's going on, an event. And that always speaks to somebody. And there's just, and you can see whether you're using Constant Contact or whatever, you can see who's opening what. And we have a 50% open rate, which is really good. It took a while to get there, but we have a lot of people that love it. And I have some really good clients and family members that unsubscribed. It doesn't mean they don't like you. It doesn't mean that they just don't like their inbox filled with stuff.
Some people just take unsubscribes too personally, but I get that. Yeah.
So if they unsubscribe, cool. I'm still reaching out to them independently. It doesn't mean, it's just this one less touch, but no big deal. If it's not valuable to them, fine, We break it down then into whether buyer, seller, C client's 90 days out from a transaction, a B client's 30 to 60 days, and an A client is you're out on appointments. You're speaking with them daily, they're hot and heavy, they're ready to go. And then we just have different procedures of what we do. The B clients we call twice a month. We put them on an action plan. If we have their addresses, we send them 2 postcards a month on just listed, just sold to earn that top of mind space. And we're hitting them in their inbox, in their mailbox, and in their social media. But we're providing value with that messaging. And it's really turned it into a fun business because it's just been an inbound marketing strategy from day one, only because, I don't like knocking on doors or calling people for no reason, unless I have a reason to do it. So, and we can share all these. I'll share these with you, Bolly, to share with everybody else. But that's kind of like the whole program there is how we break down to earn that top of mind, and then what segments that we, basically put those in.
That's nice. So you basically have 3 segments, like the A, B, and C. Like,
right.
And it from what I saw there, it didn't even seem that overwhelming.
No.
Where people like 2 emails a month or like one call a month, it seemed pretty like a natural kind of progression of the relationship.
Yeah, you don't want to be beating them up too much. You want to stay front and center, but at the same time, you don't want to be, completely overboard, depending, because they'll call you, if they have a reason to, they will. I'll share, I think I shared this with you. Let me just put this slideshow in here real quick. This will kind of break it down a little bit more. Hopefully this is helpful. So again, sorry, I'm not good at this. So just met again is, where am I putting them? You just met them. So you're going to put them in your email newsletter, and you're going to figure out what segment you're going to put them in as a buyer, seller, or past client. And then from there, you figure out, are they just looking? Are they thinking about it? And what would you put them on there? You don't want to be pushy, but if they're, they'll let you know if they're ready to go. If we have somebody saying, hey, I'm not ready till school's out, or I'm going to be looking at the end of summer, we put them on a 90-day plan. We call them once a month, and then we put them on a nurture program, depending on if it's a buyer or seller. And then same with B's, 30 to 90 days, you call them twice a month. A's, you're talking to them daily. And the whole bottom funnel thing that we really focus on, you can see that big wad of cash under not top 50. We do this thing. It's very interesting. So when I sit down with a new agent, once I figure out if they're humble, hungry, coachable, and they're smart, and they're a culture fit, I say, great, I want you to go make a wedding list. Pretend you're getting married. You have 250 people that you can invite to the wedding. And in that invitation, you're going to send them to their home address. You're going to send them an email. You're going to need their phone number to confirm. And you're going to need their spouse or partner's information too. And that's that data that you put into your database. And then once you have that list, that 250 wedding list, there's your sphere of influence. That's your SOI. Now from that SOI, because those are people that they're not wedding crashers. You don't have to be best friends with them. You don't have to, they're acquaintance, but if they walk into your wedding that you send them an invitation to, they're not a wedding crasher. You at least know their names so you can have some kind of, FaceTime or face value to them. So once that's it, those people go on 2 postcards a month, and we'll do just listed, just sold, or a blog topic, but they're constantly getting that in the mailbox. So when I have a new agent, whether it's my listing or any team members listing, we basically put all of our team listings on a postcard. And I'll show you what that looks like for that agent. And that agent goes to pick up the kids from school or meet someone at a restaurant. The first thing they do after time is go, God, you're killing it. You're doing awesome. It's like, yeah, my team's crushing it. It's not misleading because we do say it's, team, productivity, And if someone asks them if it's your listing or not, you just say it's my team's. It's my team's, and everybody on the team is really cool about it. They don't share in the commission or anything like that. So what it does is, out of that 250, there's 50 cheerleaders in there, meaning there's 50 people that no matter what, if you ask yourself the question, would they refer you? Or have they referred you in the past? You don't have to sell them a house. It has nothing to do with selling a house. It's if they're going to refer you. Some of my best top clients, I've never sold them a house, but they've given me 6, 7, 8 referrals every year. And those 6 or 8 referrals is your gold. Because if that's a referral from somebody, the closing ratio on those referrals can be, for us, has been 70 to 80%, on,
Wow.
true referrals. So if I'm going to quick math, you got top 50, if you get one referral, and whoever's in that top 50 list, you're going to track every year and see if you got a referral out of them. If you didn't, you're not doing your job, or they're just not psychologically, they just don't refer people, and that's okay too. They can stay on your sphere of influence. But if they're a true top 50, you get one referral, which you get multiple from, by the way, from each person. But let's say you got one referral, you got 50 referrals, you close 70% of those at $1 million. There's a $35 million a year. And that's a business that Zillow or any brokerage or any competitor is never going to take away from you, because you built your book of business that's impenetrable, and nobody can ever take that away. Doesn't matter what happens in industry, and you're going to get 70 to 80% of your business from that top 50 list. And then all your other pillars of business is going to be coming from somewhere else. And that's as simple as it gets. And it's a lot of hard work, but it is that simple. ABC, SOI top 50. And,
So keep it simple. I mean, that's the thing, like, no need to overcomplicate it. Just keep it simple, have the three segments, and scale from there if you need to, right? Like, you got to start somewhere, keep it simple. Jeff had a good question there. I thought I'd get to it right now on the Jeff in the chat. He said when do you put a lead in your LP website versus follow-up boss? Do you even use the lead system from the LP website? Does it go straight into follow-up boss? Like, it's a good question, because both have the ability to have contacts kind of organized, but follow-up boss probably takes it to another level, as does Real Scout. What do you do there?
You can actually take all those leads and connect it through API into Follow-Up Boss, and it'll automatically just go in. And then once it goes into Follow-Up Boss, we can organize it, and we can see the lead source came from Luxury Presence. And if I showed you the back end and showed you my lead source, Luxury Presence is a funnel, and I get a lot of crazy people too. I have kids that want to go on a celebrity tour, TMZ tour of Hidden Hills or something. We get the craziest stuff. But, we filter through those and everything. But you can connect Follow-Up Boss to automatically filter or connect to from Luxury Presence on the back end.
So it all just lands in one place. All the leads just land in Follow-Up Boss, and then your system picks it up from there and runs with it. Yeah, amazing. Do you utilize anything like texts? Like, does Follow-Up Boss allow you to do texts? And is that part of your kind of touch points?
I'm careful, and some of the AI out there is insane. There's some really cool stuff going on. Ylopo has some really good a thing called Raya, and that is great. Sometimes it talks to people weird, but most times pretty good. My whole thing, if AI talks to it just to get them to raise their hand, it's your job to get them off of AI as fast as possible so you can talk to them, but you use the AI to get them to raise their hand and just to get a reaction, to ask you a question. And it's really good at that. The other one, not structure, I think it's structurally. I think I'm going to be using that pretty soon. And with all the new ChatGPT stuff going on, I mean, it's just crazy what's happening right now. But I don't want a robot, selling houses. I just want them to elicit a response. I just want to see who the hand raisers are. That's it. So for us, AI, that's all it is.
So what parts of your system do you automate specifically? Like, there's no way you could have conversations with all of the leads. That you must be getting a ton of leads with your SEO and ads and things, especially if you're running ads. So they'll land in your system. At what point do you jump in and be like, this is actually me, Jeff, texting somebody? versus like a nurture sequence, maybe like an email sequence that runs for however many months or weeks?
That's a great question. So we have a full-time ISA internal sales agent. His job is to respond to them immediately, period. And that's his job. And you can also have VAs that do it. You can use action plans. For me, automation is awesome, but the less I can use, the better, because it goes into robot mode. And then everyone, once they figure out like, oh, a machine's talking to me, or I'm on an action plan, they know it, and it kind of, it's a turn off, you know? So my action plans are more of like drip type of stuff if you're a buyer or seller, and it's more of a nurturing type of lead, versus if it's in my sphere of influence, I don't put any kind of action plan except to remind me to do stuff. And that's it. But if you put everything properly in your system, if they're A, B, or C, you know, A's you should be talking to daily, or you shouldn't be talking to them, because that's your money. Your A's are your money. Your B's are your future money, and your C's are, you know, it's just stacked. So our B people, we talk to twice a month, or at least text and email them and try to have a conversation. And our C's is once a month, and our nurtures a quarter, if we can, you know, reach out and do it. And if you have it organized and stick to the calendar and do it regimented, which I know it's hard for all of us to do because we're real estate agents, and who has that kind of time. But, you know, if you're not out there, if you are a full-time agent, I mean, full-time, you do this to put food on the table, you know, you got a 10-hour job a day. 8 hours is not enough, you know. But let's just say if it's 8 hours, if you're not out on appointments, writing contracts or meeting with clients, the rest of it should be filled with prospecting, which is basically working your database, calling your people. That's prospecting, right? It's just reaching out to people. I don't prospect. I just call my folks, or reach out to them, or give them items of value. That's my prospecting, you know. So yeah. Someone had asked there who the two AI auto replies. Ylopo has a program. You have to be on Ylopo. It's called Raya, and I believe the other one's called Structurally, and it's insane from what I've seen. I have not used it yet, but I know people that have, and they're swearing by it. So I haven't turned that on yet, but I'm going to test it out with some of our leads that we need to nurture. We have about 20,000 leads in the system right now, and we're way behind. So I'm hoping Structurally and some of the AI can just get people to raise their hand depending on the segmentation. So.
And then where does Real Scout then fit into the picture? How does when does somebody get put onto Real Scout, or when do they get that email or
Once you
text?
figure out what they're looking for, so you have to have that conversation. If you're going in Real Scout, you know, they're either a home seller, given which they have this new program. It's insane. It's a home value thing, and I'll actually show that to you. So once you've had a conversation, and once you know what they're looking for, which neighborhood, price point, all that kind of stuff, you put them on a Real Scout search, and boy, is that fun, because that also connects to Follow Up Boss, and you can actually see their activity. And I'll share that with you real quick, what that looks like. So, second here, sorry, went in the wrong window. Sec.
Yeah, it's so good. Once things can start talking to each other, it sounds like Follow Up Boss is like your hub, which is fantastic.
Yeah, for sure. You know, it's weird. I'm missing my window here. Hold on one second. Now I'm missing you. Hold on.
Oh, good.
You know why? Because I got you on full screen. That's why. There we go.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. All right. So this is Real Scout. So if they're in Follow Up Boss, all I have to do in Follow Up Boss is tag them. So let's just go to my tags here. I'll go into a person. I have no idea who these people are. So this is actually a luxury presence Google sign-on. And Bali, I don't know if you want to talk about what that is, but all those people have to be put onto something, you know, because they signed onto your website. You know, I have an email here. This actually blurs out confidential information. So, but this did come from Luxury Presence. I have their email. And what we'll usually do is when those come in from, this just came in, I can show you what that looks like. And here's the automation, how great this is. So we have templates on everything. So if I wanted to send somebody an email saying, hey, welcome, I'm going to put you on include you on our VIP program, whatever. So this is already done.
One click. That's crazy.
Yeah, one click. Just want to invite you local happenings, community resources, other cool stuff. Here's the VIP program. They click on that, and that takes them to a landing page. Let me see if I can go to the landing page outside of this. Open new tab. And that basically says, welcome to the Front Gate family. Check out our prior newsletters, which goes to our blogs. But it also gives them an invite to our exclusive programs and events that we have. It gets them home valuations. It gets them coming soon listings, or if you're a buyer. We do some stuff with Home Light for a trade-in. Pretty much anything that you want to introduce your stuff to. This is just our VIP landing page, and it automatically gives them something of value, and it's all basically automated here. So that's the cool part. When a lead comes in, we see what they are. If this is a luxury presence Google sign-on, not even sure, they just signed on. They came to our website, they gave me their email. I don't know what they want, but I'll figure it out, and even the subject, it says, the first person's name, Aaron, you're a VIP, you're a Front Gate VIP. So it's really cool. And you can do the same thing with text. Text messaging also has, and by the way, I'll get into the phone number stuff with Follow Up Boss, and it's something very, very important that I learned. But we have templates for all this too. I don't know why I don't see my template. Oh, you know why? Because they don't have their phone number. That's why. So I got to put them on an email program and basically. But you can just go ham on this. I mean, there's so much you could do. I'll just show you some of the templates that we have. Let's go into, see, we have Front Gate seller, home valuations, pretty much anything you can think of. So let's just go into a regular Front Gate. If I want to ask somebody for a testimonial, and I want to go through all of my past A clients or a group that I haven't asked for a testimonial, I can literally just click that button. Here, Ron, it's wonderful to do a transaction with you, people, past clients, and it just gives them our Google review page, and you can get your Google reviews just cranked up, which gives you better SEO, obviously. But you can just do it all with a click of a button. We did this, time is money, and writing all these messages and all these emails, as you know, how long would that take you to do that? It'd be a nightmare. So, whatever you're looking to do, you can have any kind of template. And by the way, Follow Up Boss has a bunch of templates you can just go in and tweak, or my recommendation is just using ChatGPT, and you can just go crazy.
If you guys don't know what ChatGPT is yet, you just Google it at this point. You're living under a rock. Like this thing is a game changer right now.
Oh, it's amazing. If someone wants to know, let's say if this is a potential seller, all pre-written for my agents, and they say, hey, I'd like to share some of our marketing strategies for listings. According to the national average is 90% of homeowners use the internet. So we're on it, and we really make sure you put your front and center. But any of these links that we have here will show exactly what what I can do with their property, and how we syndicate it to all this different stuff, from postcards to what that will look like to, I'll show you real quick. So it'll basically take you to that marketing point in those clickable links that, give it a second here. Sorry. No, that's not switching over. I have a block. There you go. So this goes to a landing page and say, hey, a postcard of your home has been sent to over 10,000 recipients. And it basically shows, where we set it out to: local databases, exclusive database of business managers, financial advisors, celebrities, basically our whole thing. And it shows, what we do when we promote your home, basically. So we have so much stuff in here, and this is, years of accumulation, but I build my goal is every week is to build a new topic for all segments. So I have to come up with 4 different segments for my agents, and I share it with them. And now we've got this big old library of cool stuff, basically.
Love that. And you're constantly switching it up. So nothing's ever getting stale. Like you said, you're always going in and tweaking things and adding new points of value, new things to talk about. And this Follow Up Boss just allows you to just get into the weeds. I love that. Like
all this stuff.
Yeah, it's absolutely insane. And I'm one to say that, like, we have a way to manage leads in luxury presence, but it's just not at this level, and it's hard to build a CRM. And if somebody's already doing it and already top of their game, and connecting with them and making it part of your business workflow, it's incredible. your database is your gold. That's the money.
It is, yeah. And you can see here, these are all smart lists, they call it. So everything's separated by A, B, and C. So if I want to go in my top 50 or my SOI, or if it's just a lead, these are all the leads that came in. I can sort it by the last time they visited. Here's the newest people that have visited.
Nice.
Here's Romer. Thank you for meeting and serving breakfast. Oh, this is a vendor. So, but you can go in here and see, who's been on and what they're looking at, and that is amazing. And last activity and what they're doing basically in your database, or when was the last time I spoke with them. For this is by our mine and Dana's top 50 list. I can go in here, and I invited them to a shred event, and I could actually see they opened it. They didn't come, but I invited them. And this is all the stuff you can see that we send out to our clients saying, hey, come to our shredding event this coming week. And they're invited because they've referred us a ton of business. Or I just got my gas bill for January and it doubled. I did some research. Here's the good news. I don't know if you guys remember when your bills just went crazy, but I just put an article in and he opened it 4 times. So this is somebody pretty active on everything I send them, every time I send them something, and they've given us referrals. So I'm just going to keep sending them cool stuff outside of that. I put the kids' names in here. I put the spouse's name and contact. I have birthdays. I have links. I pretty much get as much information in here as I can on each client so that it's there at your fingertips at any given point in time.
Love that. And do you build your newsletter in Follow Up Boss, or do you use something else for the actual newsletter?
We use Constant Contact.
Oh, got it. Okay.
Yeah, and that goes out once a month. I'm sure I have an example in here somewhere too. I could show you what that looks like as well. So, but yeah, again, these are all segmented, and even if a client's an A, I'll show you my A list. I'm going to go through here, and I can actually go, you know what? Here's my A's. I'm going to find out, let me just see, I got A's, buyers, and sellers. So I tag them and I say, who's a buyer in this list, So I'm going to just look at my tags that are buyers. It'll filter it. Here are my A buyers right now. So, and that's great because I can just go in and kind of separate it and see who I'm talking to. I just talked to this gentleman today. He just got back. By the way, we just closed one of their other houses. So we have automation for sending them property tax information. These are all scheduled. This is not going to go out till January 29th, 2024, because it's going to be tax time of next year. So they can get their settlement statement basically. So that's kind of cool. But yeah, everything's in here.
How long this is so like robust. Like how long did it get you to set up everything, like all your email templates and kind of like the workflows? Was it kind of like a ton of work up front, but now you're kind of seeing the benefits of it?
No, it's a work in progress. It's like my SOI. It's if it's just sitting sedimentary, then it's no use. People are coming in and people are going out. People move out of the area. I meet new people. It's changing consistently. We're always adding to it, and it's just accumulation. Just the whole key is just to get started. Keep it simple. You don't, this is years of just doing this stuff. You're not gonna. It's gonna take you a while to get it to this level, but when you do, it's pretty cool. Cool thing too. This guy's on Real Scout. He's a buyer. This shows me to the right, he viewed this property 7 hours ago. In fact, he wanted to go see it. And I can click on this property and go, hey, what's he looking at over there? This takes me to the Real Scout, which is really easy how it integrates. It'll just do it for you guys. You don't have to do anything. It'll just do it for you. Now I can see what he's looking at, and he can favorite it or like it, or I could just see what he's up to. And I have all the information. I see it's an open house. It's awesome. What's really cool about this is that when you put a client in, all you have to do is tag it Real Scout, and it'll bring it into Real Scout, and then you just set up your searches, or you set them up on Home Value. This is great. So if you have an existing client, these are all our existing clients that we have in here, and it gave them a home valuation on their existing house, and it's pretty accurate, but it tells me who's active in the background. Every one of them, like these people, met them at an open house. They're thinking about selling. I think they're like a nurture. but they're looking at their home value. And every month, I'll show you what that looks like. Sorry if I'm probably just throwing so much shit at you, but
I love this. Yeah.
anyway, so they get an email. It says, hey, here's what's happening in your house at blah, blah, blah. If you get an expert of it, in my opinion, of me and my partners to request an actual valuation estimate, but this just gives you the Atom and the Zillow report. I can actually change this if I don't like this number. I can just give a range. I can take off these buttons here to the left. It says show estimated value. I can change the radius or do it in a neighborhood, and I can update it, and it'll take off. You'll see what it looks like. It'll take off. It'll just give you the range versus the actual, which is kind of nice too. And it's a big range, but you know what? This is just talking points. I just want to see who's opening stuff up, you know?
Yeah.
And seeing who's interested. But yeah, these are over time. If you get every past client in their home valuation, there's not one person that does not open this every time I send it out. And you can see here, they opened it up here. They looked at this, they did that. And just to give you an idea of, you know, what's interesting, you know, some people own multiple properties. This guy here, and he's just going nuts opening this stuff up, and they reach out to you. So, and the searches are just is great. You know, you can basically just set it up just like it's tied in the MLS, and you can, you know, just do your regular searches by polygons or neighborhoods or whatever, and you can set up your searches from here. But the cool part is you get that interactivity on the back end, and you get to see it in your dashboard of who's doing what in real time. This is all reflected, by the way. You know, look at this here, a few seconds ago. This person's coming in town to look at some properties, and I can go to them real quick. They actually just opened this, and it showed me who opened it, whether the husband or wife, and exactly what they're looking, and they're actually favoriting properties, making my job a hell of a lot easier and really helping me hone it down.
And that all feeds back into Follow Up Boss too.
Yeah, so if I go into these folks here and go into Follow Up Boss, just do, and the searches are really quick and easy. You can see, boom, they just pop in. It will show in the panel to the right, but it shows me here to the right. It'll update. It was just a few seconds ago. So for a couple minutes, those will pop in to see their activity, but I can dig into it and see what's going on.
Love that, all in one screen. Great.
Yeah. So I hope I'm not giving you too much information, but
no, that's amazing. What's going to happen is I'm going to send the recording out. People are going to just rewind and pause and do all of that fun stuff. That's the best way to get value out of this. I know we're at time. We're a little bit, couple minutes over. I want to open up the floor real quick, just so everyone has any questions. I'm shooting them at myself, Jeff. We can go through. You can raise your hand if you want, and I'll just go down the list, or just drop some stuff into the chat. Happy to help answer any questions before we call it a day.
And there's some there's some open questions, I think, in here too on the Q&A.
Okay, there we go. What CRM program is your website feeding to? Are you using all one CRM? Yeah, so you're just, I guess the tools that have CRM capabilities, right? But like your main tool is Follow Up Boss, right? And then everything else kind of connects to that.
Yeah, we use Ylopo for on, you know, where a lot of the pay-per-click stuff goes, but that all connects into Follow Up Boss, and we just work it from there. I don't even work it out Ylopo, to be honest with you.
Nice. Okay. Maria says, what do you think about YouTube for getting more leads? Have you utilized much of that?
We put all of our properties on YouTube. I'll be honest with you. I'm like, video is hard for me because it just always has been. I don't like listening to my ears. I talk a lot, but that's maybe why. So it's not my jam, but I know a lot of people do really well. And YouTube for Google SEO is insane. So it's something I gotta really work on, to be honest with you.
Yeah, video is one of those. Not everyone likes doing it. I tend to black out during these things, so I don't even know how the whole webinar went until I watch it back later. But yeah, no, some of the video stuff is not going anywhere. People always talk about video. I just tend to think if you're gonna do it anyway, if you're gonna do marketing and try to do it at a certain level, it's the best bang for your buck in terms of time and money. You just kind of knock out a video, and you can do so much more with that video. You can turn it into a blog or social post or
so much with
post. Yeah, you can just kind of, it becomes a repurposing type of thing. What else we got here? Let's see.
There's a question about VIP landing page. Yes, you can. The luxury presence has been great with us with, hey, I need this or I need that, and they do it for us. Really depending on what I'm looking to do. And they'll actually come back to me and say, hey, you know what, I wouldn't recommend that, and this is why. And they've actually talked me out of certain things. I'm like, okay, that was good advice. Cool. So that's great, because you also get a much higher level of service with experts that can give you awesome feedback on some of these ideas that we come up with that are, worthwhile doing or not.
Yeah, no, I mean, we try to do that. Like, there's a lot of plug and play services out there with websites and things like that. At least you have somebody to talk to, that we can kind of collaborate on a page or a certain section of your site, and help it connect to other things. That VIP page looked great though. Love that.
Yeah, and I'll get you a link. There's a lot of people asking for the EI, everything I talked about. We'll put this together, and I don't know if you have the master list from everybody here, but I'll get you all the links and referrals, and you can just say Jeff sent you, and that'd be great, and they'll hook you up.
Nice. Yeah, I'll grab it all from you, Jeff. We'll put it in an email. I'll send it to everybody. Make sure everyone has everything from this webinar. Let me see what else we got here. Can you set up Real Scout to send automated home valuation reports, and can you change it to use market listings within the last 3 months, 6 months, or a year?
Yes.
So yeah, that's
There's crazy stuff you could do. If I wanted, I had investor buyers, and I did a search, and I used the keyword, anything that you would have for a distressed home or fixer, and you have this amazing list of, just like you would in the MLS if you set up an auto feed, but you would basically can send anybody that has the word fixer or cosmetic or flip or whatever that you think is usable, and they love it. They just go crazy on it because that's what they're looking for, and I give them that segment. So
nice. All right, I'm gonna call it a day. We're gonna end this webinar here. I'm gonna send the recording out to everybody. Make sure everyone gets some time back. I know we're a little bit over. I want to end with one question though, Jeff. What are some of the? Is there like one, like, where do you see all this going? Like, and it's a bit of a loaded question, but like with like AI and all of that sort of stuff, can you see it becoming more of your workflow, and any sort of trends that you're seeing within the industry tech wise?
Yeah, it's a little scary. It's a little nerve-wracking. I have some of the agents that are older that are nervous about, like, I don't get this stuff, I don't understand it. I built a team that we get it, we do it for you, and help them understand it. And and everybody's at different levels. Some of my best agents don't even use half this stuff, I'll be honest with you, but when they do, I can double or triple their income. I'll be honest with you, all this stuff is awesome, all this automation and AI, and it's great. But my highest recommendation is, if you can build that wedding list and get it done right away, and create that as your sphere of influence, and then find those top 50 cheerleaders out of that list, and just reach out to them and keep it super simple. Give them what they want, start from there. Nobody can take that away from you. The 800-pound gorillas of, paying 35% for a Zillow Flex lead or Realtor.com lead, or buying leads, you're never going to have to. You're sitting on top of your gold, man. It is sitting right on. And so you might as well just reach underneath you and grab it, instead of trying to grab it from all over the place, because everybody else is distracted trying to grab that space from just people they don't know. And if you can find those people that know, love, and trust you, and then get them to refer and give them items of value, nobody will ever take this away from you in this business. And everyone's always going to need a real estate agent. I don't care what anyone says. We've seen it all. We've seen all types of companies come and go, and I won't mention names, but they're always going to need us in some way, shape, or value. No matter how many of us there are, if you stand out as that true professional and stand up on top, and we get through this next cycle, you get through this next cycle with that database, your hardcore sphere, you're going to go through the roof. Simple as that.
Love that. Well, Jeff, thank you so much. I don't think we can talk about this stuff for days and days and days. Like, I wish I could have you weeks, but all the information was gold. So thanks for giving us an insight into your CRM and the secrets and the workflows. Like, I love all of that. And I'll make sure everybody gets a recording afterwards. We'll send out any cool fun links that Jeff has as well. And
anybody has any questions, Yeah, Google, if anyone has questions, Google me. I'll get back to you. It might take me a couple minutes, but I will get back to you. And if you have any questions, I'm more than happy to help. I'm one of you guys. And, I built it from the ground up with nothing. And I just worked hard at it and I love it. And I love all my agents and I love real estate. So sometimes, but yeah, I love collaborating with people. So don't feel shy to reach out to me.
Amazing. Well, thank you, Jeff. Thank you everyone for attending. I'll circle back with an update for the next one next month. But this one was a special one. I love this one. And last one thing. What's your website to reach you at, Jeff? Frontgate Real Estate or?
It's weird because we Dana and Jeff Luxury Homes, because I didn't have a team. Right? It was just myself and my partner, Dana, that we ended up getting so many leads, we had to build a team. Literally, that's why we did it. And we had too many clients to serve. So, but we're still Dana and Jeff luxuryhomes.com if you want to put it in the chat. Yeah. Go ahead and try to spell my name. You're not going to get it right anyways. Spell it.
All right, perfect, guys. All right, I'll call it a day. Thanks again for joining us. And we'll see you at the next one. Thanks, Jeff. Thanks, everyone. And
take care, everybody.
See you soon.
All right, bye-bye.
The sun is coming slowly. I hold these moments closely, closely now. These waves